Hello everyone, welcome back. ShortNature here. In today's video, I will discuss the upcoming Guardian games and the preparation you need in order for you to be free-to-play player on April 21st to May 12th. So Guardian Games is a free-to-play game for everybody, so you really don't need any other guidelines. That's just the first part of this video. Remember to subscribe for the upcoming gaming content, and of course hit the like button, and let's get started in today's video. Now, just like in the previous video, we kind of discussed everything about the Guardian games and what you need to able for you to play in the Guardian games. But like I mentioned in the previous video and just a little bit touched on this talking point in this video, anybody can be played. Anybody can free to play this game anytime in the world. It's a free to play game. So the Guardian games is going to be free to everybody. You really don't need to be a season pass holder, or of course need to have Shadowkeep, or need to have Forsaken in order for you to play this game. It's a free to play gaming event, pretty much kind of new to the gaming universe, because all the previous gaming contents that we had for Destiny 2 are usually like a springtime event, a Halloween event, or a Christmas time event. But this one is like mostly like an Olympic Games type of event. If you guys do know, the Tokyo Games in the Olympics would have been this year, but unfortunately it has been postponed or canceled until further notice because of the pandemic. That's why a lot of our government is pushing to stay home, because this pandemic is very serious matter. On to the more lighter news. So this is like our Olympic Games for us in 2020 in the Destiny 2 universe. So announced early Thursday morning, Guardian Games is fast approaching, beginning on April 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific time. For the Guardian Games will be available to all players. Titans and Hunters or Warlocks will be competing to prove which class is the most dedicated class in Destiny 2. So that's something we should be looking forward to in this time of need, to see which class is the most ultimate class in Destiny 2. As you guys do know, if you play throughout the Crucible and all that good stuff, Hunters has been the main class that a lot of people has been using a lot in Destiny 2 days. I've seen a lot of Hunter builds throughout the process of Destiny 2. I never seen these many Hunter builds in Destiny 1 days. It was usually mostly like Titans and Warlocks was the main class that people use. This time around in Destiny 2 is mainly Hunters. That's why they're going to have a set balanced tone and a scored tone balance to make sure that Hunters don't take up the most majority of the time of the wins throughout the each days that Destiny will have the Guardian games. That will come to our understanding where it comes with the Tower Podium. At daily reset, your clunk, your mark, and ball will update to reflect what placement your team has taken on that particular day. As an example, if Titans took the W for that day 1, the mark will update it with a wonderful gold seal. With the Warlocks in second, or the Hunters in third, or the Hunters in second and the Warlocks in third. Depends on that day, that placement of your class base. These class items can be updated to feature silver and bronze respectively. So whatever day that class has taken that day, a respective colors will represent throughout those days. So what is the ultimate prize? At the end of the event, your daily placement will be combined for the final score, depending on your team's standing. Your class items will be locked to the respective placement for the remainder of the year. So that's why this Guardian Games is pretty big in Destiny 2, because we want to see who is going to be representing the class base competition for the rest of the remainder of the year. If you're looking to more ways to represent your class, Eva has you covered. Each week, she will offer free quests to earn the exotic ghost shell, one to theme each Guardian class. Complete this quest each week to collect all 3 of them. So that's something we should be looking forward to in Destiny 2. And additionally, of course, in any event that comes to Destiny 2, you will have, of course, an exotic machine gun will be available during these events. As you guys do know, throughout Destiny 2 history, we always have some sort of weapons in these special events. Halloween, Christmas, springtime, we always have some weapon to go along with that theme, and we will have this machine gun in our arsenal. And of course, Destiny players are looking forward to see what may have this tool of destruction will inspire you when you get it into your hands. And we cannot forget the Everest store. We'll have some items in the store for this event throughout these weeks and throughout the months of April up to May. So you can't forget about her. She will have some class items to go along with this theme. So let's get started about some things that we need to talk about, some understanding how this whole competition is going to work, because of course you got to have something to go along with this, meaning currencies to go along with this, and of course bounties to help us help us understand these placements and get these placements for our class base. So of course we did talked about a portion of it. It is a class based competition. You gain medals from Eva and complete them to earn points for each class team. So that's how the class placements is going to work in the Tower Podium. Medals, you got to earn medals with Eva, and you got to place those medals throughout the whole daily of, let's say, tomorrow, because tomorrow is Tuesday of the daily reset. Whatever how many medals we collect for that day, that will be the placement for our class base characters. So that's why it's very important to pick one particular class base that you could be rocking with throughout these weeks of April 21st up through May 12th. I don't know how it's going to work if you switch between characters, because sometimes people like to work with one character for this particular day, then move on Wednesday to work on their Warlock, and then maybe work on Friday with their Titan or something. Some people have schedules for their characters, so I don't know how it's going to work, but it may work with this scoring base, because Destiny and Bungie already knows that hunters are like the main class so far, so this may help us out a lot in the score podium, so hunters won't take up too much of that placement. But Destiny did mention that you never know, there might be a lot of hunter fan favorites out there will help with score placement. But the medals, it seems like, is the main key part that will help you throughout this tower podium placement for their daily reset. Next is moving on with some other materials that we need for the Guardian Games of 2020. It's called Laurels. Picking up Laurels dropped by other players during the Guardian Games to complete medals and advance your team ranks. Laurels will drop in activities except for Gambit and the Crucible, where they will be rewarded after the match has ended. So that's usually the case too. People like to jump into Gambit and the Crucible, and if anything drops for them or they're completing some steps in their quest line, they tend to go to Gambit and the Crucible, and once they complete that quest line, they just left the match and just go on to their next step. That is not the case when it comes to Laurels. Laurels, yes, when you complete other activities in other worlds of Destiny 2, yes, they will drop for you. Like, for example, maybe the EP, the Menagerie, or anything that is like a base game that you can go in and it will drop for you automatically. So tomorrow you might see a lot of players going back into the Menagerie, maybe the raids or something like that. But people like to pick activities that's really easy. The EP and of course the Menagerie is a good place. The Blind Well is another area where Laurels may drop for those activities, so you might see a lot of Guardians in those particular activities for tomorrow. But when it comes to Gambit and the Crucible, you got to complete of course the matches. Okay, just don't leave the matches and leave everybody hanging there and just move on. No, you need to complete the match in order for you to get these Laurels. So that is the vital information that players need to get through their thick skulls. Please do not leave matches and just leave everybody hanging just because you want to do this. You have to complete the matches in Gambit and Crucible. So if you're not one of those people, maybe that is not the best activity for you to really jump in. Maybe you need to jump in like the activities that we mentioned and that you're seeing on your screen. Here are some vital information that is very important for players to participate in the Guardian Games tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Players must wear their Guardian Games class items in order to progress any Guardian Games bounties. So of course, Eva will have bounties available for you. So just make sure that you have your class items, God, I can't talk right now. Make sure you have your class items wearing for you throughout the process of the Guardian Games. Because if you just want the helmet and just wear everything else, it might not count. So make sure that you wear your full armor set in order for you to progress throughout the Guardian Games. Eva's daily reward package will be only available to players who participate in the day's competition by depositing at least one medal. So make sure that, if you're going with Eva, her daily package will be available to players who participate in that day. A daily reward package do not stack. Eva holds as much as one package for a player at a time. So take that into consideration. And of course, they are dropping this again. I did mention it earlier. Laurels do not drop in Gambit or Crucible or and are instead rewarded directly to players. So they do not just drop automatically when you kill enemies. You have to, like I mentioned, complete those matches in order for them to drop for you. Maybe in other activities like we mentioned earlier, the Menagerie, the EP, the Blind Well, the Shrikes, the Nightfall Shrikes, those activities, yes, they will drop for you. But as far as Gambit and Crucible, Bungie already knows the plans and already understands how people works in this game. Yeah, you have to complete the match in order for it to move on and move forward. Unrecovered laurels do not go to the player's postmaster and must be picked up to be counted. So that is something that you need to take in consideration. When they drop for you, pick them up automatically. They will not go to your postmaster if you leave, say for example, the Crucible or of course Gambit. If you leave those matches, they will not go to your postmaster. Or if you leave the Shrike, or of course anytime with Bungie, let's just say that it's not your fault, but Bungie tends to kick you out with the beaver message. Yeah, that's usually the case. So make sure that you take that into consideration. If you hear that laughing, I don't know what's going on. My parents and my family is just laughing about something. So let's just don't mind them right now. But in the meantime, just make sure that when you're doing those activities, you pick up anything that drops. I don't care if it's a blue Ingram, just pick it up regardless. So make sure you pick it up because the laurels do not go to your postmaster. If you'd like to see more Destiny 2 videos, let me know in the comment section down below. Share today's video. Remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notification on my next video. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching. I will be live streaming tomorrow, finally back again. I don't have my full streaming setup, but I said I gotta go back streaming because look, I don't have any job right now. They kind of like slow down on ours as we speak. So I will be live streaming that whole week, starting tomorrow up till Saturday, and of course videos in between if I don't get the time to stream. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And guys, please listen to your government guidelines. I know there's some governments out there that wants to open up their states, but there's a lot of business out there are not really fond of that. Stay home, stay safe, and I will see you guys next time.